Do you ever find yourself scrolling through Netflix or Hulu or Prime or Freevee or Tubi or Corncob TV and think, wow, there is nothing left to watch? Well, you're wrong. You just haven't dug deep enough. Because there is always more. There are billions of independent creators out there making things that might be unconventional or strange, but are absolutely unique. In this video, which, hey, it might be a series, I hope to shine a spotlight on some of these things. So about probably half a year ago, me and my friend, we were just watching TV, rotting away on the couch, 2 to 3 episodes deep, and in our little recommended, like the little thumbnail, there's this, in an almost definitely copyrighted font, The Marvelous Mrs. Shenkman. So if you've ever watched The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, you would know that it's a period dramedy starring the iconic Rachel Brosnahan. Well, The Marvelous Mrs. Shenkman, as we soon found out, was also sort of a period dramedy, only starring the iconic April Hava Shenkman and her very puppet friends. So I'd like to walk you through her comedy special because, well, it is mind-blowing. But I have to recommend that you go watch it on your own. I'm going to put the link in the description of a couple different ways you can watch it. I think art like this should be shared, should be appreciated, so if you find yourself wanting to show a friend, like, I'm sure she would appreciate that. I am going to refrain from, showing the entire thing in this video. I'm going to just show some clips. There's definitely going to be things that I leave out, so yes, go watch it. April Hava Shenkman was not a person/persona that I had encountered before stumbling upon this special. But I've, since then looked her up, obviously. She's been in the comedy scene in LA for quite some time, and she has this very, interesting style of comedy, if you can call it that, not to diss it, not saying, oh, it's not funny. It's it's more than comedy. There's, a extra level of performance. It's like a variety act, almost. The story begins zoomed into a puppet theater. Puppet April is talking to her puppet husband about trying for a child. It's a little humorous conversation.
Let's make a baby.
Jared, wait, let me think about it. I want to do a show this year, and I'm turning 40, and, if we wait till December, we can have a Virgo, so I need a few more months.
For what? We've been talking about this for 5 years. Let's do it.
Then we cut to the stork, of course. Puppet stork flying across the stage. This, honestly, this entranced us when we watched it for the first time. It is entirely not what you expect when you click on this, especially because, to be honest, what you expect is some sort of weird Mrs. Maisel knockoff, and then you click on it and it's a bunch of puppets. It's very confusing to stumble upon it in that way, and very adorable and engaging, I have to say. Then out comes Mrs. Shenkman. And she makes us wait. For the absurd.
Little lamb, Mary had a little lamb, his fleece was white as snow.
And this is where new viewers be introduced to Mrs. Shankman's very specific style of comedy. It's this like fast talking, rhythmic, rhyming, sometimes utterly nonsensical joke format.
I feel so flocked out tonight. I don't know why, but I do. Blame it on the moon, Sparky my plume. Look at me, I'm a geranium in bloom. Did someone say peanut butter chocolate?
I can't say I completely understood it, but I was very engaged by it. Me and my friend, we were watching this, we were absolutely losing our minds because, you know, giving it to you in this kind of presentation of like, here is a wacky, cool thing I found. Yeah, like it's not so surprising, I'm sure, but from the presentation of you're tired, you're about to go to bed, but somebody clicked on the next thing, let it autoplay, I'm not sure, and this is what you're watching. It's like, it's astonishment. Utter astonishment.
Now, I know some of you are here to see if it's really true, you know? Making sure it's not a publicity stunt.
But
You know, using the bus to get a
it
Hollywood
was
jump.
kind of growing on us.
I mean, just look at me, I'm blowing up. My career's expanding by the minute. I'm a woman who wears mystique like some women wear perfume. Ha. Strong and very noticeable. Ha.
And after a half hour of an opening
Who's coming to dinner?
monologue, or I guess an opening set, here come the puppets.
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd now like to bring to the stage the Bob Baker Marionettes. Grazie.
The world famous Bob Baker marionettes. You got everything. You got puppets, of course. You have costume changes. You have opera singing in fake Italian. You have baby children puppets. And then we get Mr. Shank. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. You will remember him from the puppet opening.
You know me, I'm a bull, and once I get started, I don't stop. I'm on a mission.
I think they did a great job of translating his appearance to the puppet. It is very clear who he is. And then at 46 minutes about, we get this, I have to pause it, you know, I have to break down a certain joke because this is about Florida, and I am from Florida. I'm in Florida. I've been in Florida most of my life.
Florida, the Sunshine State.
And I think that we are the laughingstock of a lot of the world, and I think that is very deserved for the most part. But I have to say, this joke just didn't like hit. It didn't like, you know, I love some observational comedy, but I just felt the observations were very like, actually, no, that's not how it is here.
Even in March, I got too much sun. I mean, I started looking like a box of Cheerios. I mean, no matter how hard I try to fit in and act local there, I start drawing more attention than the alligators. I mean, everywhere I go there, I hear them whisper, "Here comes California." I went to a diner and asked for an avocado. Too bohemian for a red state. Immediately, I was put on the endangered species watch list. What can I say? Florida doesn't do fancy fruit with health benefits. They leave that to California.
Okay, so at this point in the special, you might be a little tired. You might think, okay, like I get it. I've seen it. I might click off. Do not click off because you will miss the best part of the entire show. The best man, character, boy in the entire show, and that is the energy puppet.
One day they say, you've got to conserve. Next day they say they've got a lot in reserve. Well, what's the story? What's the truth? First they say, without any doubt, use anymore, and you're sure to run out. What's the story? What's the truth? Then they say,
And I don't put this lightly. I stan the energy puppet.
It's worse than the perils that plagued Pauline. We don't want to be outpaced. We want to produce, but we don't want to waste. What's the story? What's the truth about energy? About energy.
Cause I be the baddie beat, Barbie tank, banging body beat, everybody beat, on my D, yo I gotta be, in reality, suck a D, if you doubted me, back in the back, back in the back, back in the back, back in the back, who on Barbie D, who on Barbie D.
And then after his beautiful song, we get a little puppet parade just to show off all the little guys we got, all the little guys and gals, little dudes. Then after the sweet little puppet parade, we get the birth scene, because no show is going to start with conception that doesn't end with birth.
Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
It happens once in a lifetime, only once in a lifetime. It never happens again. Get your chance of a lifetime, only once in a lifetime. And to pass it up or miss it would be downright illicit. Just imagine the opportunity.
One criticism I have to have of The Marvelous Mrs. Schenkman that I'm not sure is a valid criticism, it's just a personal criticism, and that would be the length of every moment. For example, you know, when puppets first come on stage, it's like, oh my god, puppets, cool. And then they just keep doing what they're doing. And this birth scene, it's like, it's drawn out. It is drawn out, okay? Now, I don't think this is a valid criticism, because when you look at the things that I like, you know, number one on the list of media that I really love, it's like Twin Peaks and Twin Peaks The Return. And in Twin Peaks The Return, you know, the team over there, David Lynch, he loves, you know, like the sweeping scene, you know, everything, it's very long and drawn out, and I am a big defender of that. So I don't know if it would be fair for me to come out here and be like, you gotta tighten up the edit, or move things a little bit faster. I honestly think that's just the TikTok brain in me talking, so I think that you should also keep that in mind if you're gonna go watch it. It is a little drawn out, but maybe it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be. So yeah, I feel like the problem with this video is that we get to a certain point in The Marvelous Mrs. Schenkman where, you know, I don't have anything else to say. This is supposed to be a review video, maybe commentary, I guess. You know, the work speaks for itself. There's nothing of value that I could add. And I do feel like a lot of these videos, a lot of these like commentary ask review videos are very negative. You know, we're laughing at the thing. I have no interest in making fun of this special. I don't think we should be doing things like that, because it's honestly discouraging people from breaking the mold and making things a little bit weird and a little off kilter, which I think, personally, I think we need more of. And that, of course, you know, that's different when it's some soulless, money-sucking thing with no heart, but if The Marvelous Mrs. Schenkman has one thing, it has heart. So there's really no need to make fun of something that might have elements that I don't understand. I think that this needs to be watched and like studied, and I'm not being disingenuous when I say that. But that also begs the question, who is this for? Because it's for someone. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that's the point. That's not my point of making this video. To me, this special is kind of the epitome of what self-expression should be. I feel like so much of what's being made today, the big box office blockbusters, but also like TikTok influencers and short filmmakers, and what I'm literally doing right now, making a YouTube video. So much of it is just done for marketability. It's kind of pandering to an extent, a trick. Capitalism, we want views, and that isn't to say that like your interests as an artist might not just naturally align with an audience. You might make something that is already pretty marketable, or you're making something that you do want to make knowing that it is pretty marketable. But I do think it's important to examine our own art from that standpoint. Like, are we staying too comfortable? Are we too entrenched in the popularity contest of it all? Are we just regurgitating what's worked before, like a glorified human AI? I don't know. But The Marvelous Mrs. Schenkman is unadulterated itself. It's unadulteratedly itself. It's itself with no apology. Is it my favorite comedy special ever? No, it's not really my sense of humor, but does it break barriers? Is it absolutely unique and absurd and made me think and made me want to make art? Yes. So I put this to you, dear watcher. Make something with reckless abandon. Make something that's just for you.
We want to produce, but we don't want to waste. What's the story? What's the truth about energy?
I hope you enjoyed this little video talking about this strange comedy special me and my buddy Daniel found. I'm hoping to make some more videos in the future. I actually really enjoyed filming this. Hopefully I enjoy editing this, but I can't tell you. That's for future me to tell you. But please, if you're one of my friends, hi. If you're somebody that I don't know, you're just somebody that stumbled across this and they're recommended, stick around, leave a comment. On this channel, I post a lot of my short film content and weird stuff and music, and now little video commentary review things. I don't know, I have some ideas in the works, and yeah, hopefully this is interesting. Hold your attention. Go watch Mrs. Schenkman, go watch April. She's awesome. Yeah. Bye.